Hey guys, hope you're doing well, man. So I got a busy day ahead. Got 2 trucks on the road. Been moving some trucks around. Got 1 truck over there by my neighbor's house for Justin to come get here in a minute. Just gotta make sure I get out of the way of the city guys coming around to pick up the trash and whatnot. But yeah, so as you can see, I got the stand-on Exmark Vertex. Came in a good time because both my walkers are in the shop getting fixed. Hopefully I'll get my 223 in soon. It just needs a drive belt, and I brought it in last Friday, so I imagine it's just a matter of them getting the belt in and putting it on real quick, so hopefully it'll get in soon. But appreciate the guys over at Ace. Got to give all of them a big shout out. Chandler, Michael, College, Thomas, Nora. Let's see here, Garrett, Randy, Zach in the back, doing a great job, man. They're just fantastic. You happen to be living in this area, yeah, go check them out. I'm sure you already know about them, but yeah, they have a great service department. All the people out there are just fantastic and just really friendly and nice and knowledgeable. And appreciate Chandler and the guys up there for letting me demo the Vertex. I've been wanting to try a stand-on for a while now. I have tried a walk behind before with a sulky, and I hated it. I didn't really like it. It just didn't feel right. So looking forward to trying the traditional stand-on, that you can lean up against and that kind of thing, just see how I like it. It's going to be a matter of, I don't know. I've got some reasons behind why I'm trying it out. I'm going to mention that here in a minute when I get in the truck. We'll talk more about it in terms of the reasoning behind my thinking. We'll just see how it goes. It's got a 48-inch deck. It's got a smaller engine on. I know the guys over at Southern, did a video talking about, I think it was a bigger Vertex with a big engine and the 60-inch cut. I don't need a big 60-inch cut like that. I want to have something that can get through these gates. So that's why I got the 48. I'm not even sure. It may be a little too big to get through some of these narrower gates. A lot of the yards that I have, the smaller yards with the fenced-in backyard. So we'll see. But that's something I really need. I may actually need, if I like it, I may need something smaller. I don't know, around 40. But anyway, yeah, my walkers have 42-inch cuts. So that's something that I'm going to be looking for and making sure that this mower can get through those single gates. But yeah, y'all, really looking forward to trying it out. It does have, like I said, the smaller engine. I'm not sure exactly the horsepower. FX 730V. I'm assuming it's in the low 20s because I've got the 850V on a laser, and it's 25, I believe, 25 and a half. It's not exactly sure the horsepower, but either way, looking forward to trying it out and just seeing how I like it. I know you guys swear on it. That I've been using stand-ons for years. Eddie and Doc, some of you guys in the comments, love your stand-ons. So looking forward to see. I know they used to have the Staris, which people didn't really like. Supposedly this Vertex is a lot better. It's much improved, much better version of the stand-on mower compared to the Staris they had years ago. I'm going to find out for myself and see. Again, guys, I'm going to talk more here in a second. As soon as I get in the truck, I get going. Got a busy day. We'll talk about the reasoning behind why I'm going to try this stand-on mower out and just see if I like it. Hope you're all well. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, I'm on the road now, headed to the gas station to meet JR. I hope you're all doing well. So yeah, let me give you 2 reasons why I'm behind. I want to try this thing out and just see. And I know a lot of you guys have been talking about the stand-on mowers. Doc mentions the bad boy mower and he still likes it, even though, obviously they screwed him over a little bit, in that whole situation there. But so I may end up trying out a bad boy. There is a dealer in town. I'm not as confident in the network or the dealership itself with them being fairly new. So I'm really not sure about that. So we'll see how the Vertex, how I like it. But let me tell you the 2 reasons behind, there's a customer behind wanting to try the Vertex out. So number 1 is honestly, I love, anytime I can take the monotony out of lawn care, I like doing it, especially later on in the summer, the dog days of summer. As we get into July and August when it's so hot and humid, we're just trying to get through it, right? So that's when it really gets monotonous and you get kind of burnt out, right? We all hear about people talking about burnout. So I like the idea of trying something new, using a different machine. Obviously, stand on is gonna be a little bit different than the sit down, so that's really what I'm gonna try to decide whether I even like it or not. But yeah, it's just something new, something different, that I can try, just see if I like it, see how it feels, and just go from there. So I know you guys swear on it, that use them, say you love them. I am one thing that I'm a little concerned about with me being taller, 6'2". I'm wondering if it's not ideal for taller people to stand on mowers. That's the concern that I have. I'm assuming it's obviously going to be better for shorter folks, right? But I guess we'll see. We're going to find out if it feels awkward or not, especially when you got to start leaning and all that kind of stuff. So I would just assume that it's going to be a better fit for shorter people. So that's something I'll be looking for when I test it out today. So that's the main reason. Like I said, just taking the monotony out of lawn care and just having something different to use. Should be fun. Number two, a lot of you guys in the comments have told me that it's better for your back. So I've never really had any. I've had some sore back problems, I guess, from time to time, but really not here lately. I think it's because I started doing more squats and deadlifts. So I really don't experience any back problems, even being taller and obviously sitting down on the mower. A lot of people are going to say that, the sit-down mowers are going to cause back issues. Of course, the new lasers especially have the cushioned seats. So I think that helps with the compression of your back and whatnot, and just keeping it comfortable and not having any issues there. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys swear on the fact that you feel like it's better for your back using a stand-on mower. So I'd be curious about that. Obviously, I wouldn't know that right away after one day of trying it out. But that's something for the long term. As I get older, if I continue to have to work in the field, that'd be something that I'd be conscious about and wondering about as I get older, because I definitely want to stay healthy and stay in good shape. And the fact that I work out like I do, I think that obviously helps, and that's something I'm going to continue to do. So hopefully it won't be an issue either way, but I know you guys say that it is better for your back, those of you that have used both of them. So we'll see about that. But anyway, that's really the main two reasons why. And there's some other reasons, but those are the main ones. And we'll talk maybe more at the end of the video after I've used it throughout the day, and I can give you my thoughts, my opinions, and the differences that I noticed between obviously the stand on and sit down, just how it feels, all that kind of stuff. It's just going to be, it's all new to me. The controls are different, obviously. It's just going to be a feel thing. I'm not even sure. Who knows whether I'm going to like it or not. And again, it's going to take time, right? It's going to be kind of awkward at first, for sure. So we'll see, but I feel like I'll kind of know right away whether it's something I'm going to like or not for the long term. But yeah, looking forward to trying it out and just seeing is believing. You got to try it first, right? So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll get some footage too throughout the day, obviously, guys, and we'll talk at length at the end of the video, and I'll give you my thoughts in terms of what I think about the differences and all that kind of stuff. Hope you're well, guys. God bless you. Talk to you soon. So fellas, y'all saw me get that footage there, the stand on. We'll talk more about that later as I get more experience with it. I'll get some more clips as well. But yeah, we're at a yard, and let me tell y'all about this customer here. So I started doing her yard last year, around August, September. She told me her son was gonna take over for the time being. And she called me back, or texted me back last week, asked me if I'd start back again. So yeah, I mean, she's a nice lady, but I'm not really a fan of people that do that. So honestly, happens again, I doubt I'll pull with her anymore. Just kind of like it when customers, they kind of waver on whether they want you to provide service or not. So hopefully that won't happen again, but it's an easy yard. That's all the grass there that I have to mow that you saw me on the stand on there. But we got to go through here and weed eat throughout the woods, all around the house, all the vines and stuff, and it's especially bad this time, and pick up the sticks. That's what I'm doing now while JR blows off. So I'm picking up sticks while JR is blowing off, that kind of thing. So how do y'all feel about that when customers do that, you know, get their son or whatever, or the neighborhood kid to do it and then call you back, you know, a year later and actually start back over again? Again, if it happens again, I doubt I'll pull with her anymore. A couple points, or one main point: when you're weed eating in a woody area like this, you got to watch out, especially in the south. I'm not sure how it is up north or in the Carolinas, Eddie. Yellow jacket nest. Now right now in June, they're probably not as prevalent, but throughout the summer, you will encounter these nests. I'm very cautious about weed eating throughout woods and natural areas and that kind of thing, because that's typically when you get hit if you're not careful. And I mean, honestly, it's hard to see them, right? I mean, you just got to be careful about weed eating and walking through wooded areas, natural areas. You just never know where their nest will be. I mean, it's been a few years I've gotten hit by yellow jacket nest, but Justin's gotten hit quite a few times over the last few years. So it's just something to be wary of. Just thought I'd throw it out there, guys. Hey, listen, hope you're doing well. Go get some more footage. Talk soon. What's up, fellas? Got the camera set up, my iPhone set up to get some footage. Probably my last clip showing the stander. And then I'll let you know my thoughts at the end of the day when we get done for the day. But yeah, so far so good. We're having a good day. Justin's getting his list knocked out. Me and JR knocking them out. We're working on 13 and 14. Should do close to 2,500, 2 trucks, 3 guys. So yeah, should have a really good day, today. So far so good. Appreciate the guys working hard, doing what they're supposed to, coming in with a good attitude, and that's been that way all week long, so I'm very appreciative. Standard's doing well. I mean, it's taking some time getting used to that kind of thing, which obviously is to be expected. But one thing I want to bring up before I give you my final thoughts, and I mentioned before, I love being able to feather the deck, so to speak, kind of lift up on the deck on the sit-down mower, the Laser Z, whenever I'm approaching some roots, or if I feel like I'm getting ready to hit a hole, I like to lift up on the deck to keep that grass from getting scalped. You can't do that with this, I don't believe. So, I mean, literally, I would have to stop the mower and lift up on this handle to lift the deck up to be able to do that. So obviously, you don't want to stop the mower. So in this case, I'm just avoiding the roots, or you obviously really trying to watch out for a hole, that kind of thing. So that's something that I don't like compared to the sit down. I can feather that deck and lift up on it at any moment's notice, that kind of thing, whenever it's needed, specifically around roots and holes and stuff like that. So that's one thing I definitely like about the sit down over the stand on, at least this one. Are there any other stand ons that you can do that you can keep going and lift up on that deck over roots and stuff? So yeah, obviously I don't want to have to go over roots, without being able to lift the deck, other than end up, obviously messing the mower up, the blades, all that kind of stuff. So not a fan of that. I do feel like, I mentioned it before, I was worried that being taller, about 6'2", around 6'2", that it might feel a little uncomfortable. I'm kind of thinking that, to be honest with you, just for what I've noticed so far. I feel like if you're a little bit shorter, like our good friend Jim, I believe he goes by Dirty. I think he's like 4'11", 5 foot, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if you're a short guy like that, I think it's going to be ideal for you. But if you're a little bit taller like me and pretty solid, about 210 pounds, it almost feels like as you lean forward, you're going to fall over. But anyway, yeah, I do feel like for shorter men, I feel like it's definitely going to be a little better, a little more comfortable, feel a little more natural than if you're taller like myself. But anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there, guys. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to get a clip here in a second. Right here, just showing you there's some roots down there, and I already mowed with the sit-down mower, mowed around all those roots. So JR, go ahead and finish weed eating this yard. But yeah, I'm going to get a clip right here in a second, and then we'll talk in detail afterwards. Hope you're doing well. God bless. What's up, fellas? Hope you're doing well. So I just made it back to the house about 5:30 now. Spent about 15 minutes talking to a customer that I mowed his yard by myself earlier before we finished up or whatnot. But anyway, yeah, really good day overall. I'll let you know the totals that we did with 2 trucks. Justin got his list done, skipped lunch so he could go get an insurance quote. So I'm cool with that. He got his list done. So I'm proud of him for working hard. JR worked really good, and the attitude's been really good this week. So really proud of the guys. I want to mention that first and foremost. So really having a good week, and the day was great. So looking forward to figuring stuff up and posting the numbers. I may post this tonight, Wednesday night, or Thursday. Not really sure yet. It just depends on how things go. But yeah, let's talk about it, guys. So yeah, here's the stand-on. I'll give you my thoughts. First of all, I didn't mention this earlier. I like the fact that it's fairly compact. Okay, so yeah, normally if I got the walker or the navigator on, it's hard for me to fit the laser on without it butting up against the back of the gate. But obviously, you can see it's not doing that. So it allows me to have a little more room than if I had the navigator on, with it being a little bit longer. So that's one good thing. I could probably, honestly, if I didn't have a sprayer on there, and you can't actually take that off, by the way, I could probably fit 3 mowers, including the stand-on, on this one if I wanted to, with it being a little more compact. So that's a good thing. Cut quality was good. It's wasn't really any difference in terms of cut quality, in my opinion. Although I did notice on one yard, and y'all may have noticed it too, in one of the clips, where it felt like it wasn't really cutting super smooth. Like one side, but maybe it's a little bit lower. So I'm wondering if one of the tires, the pressure might have been lower than the other one, causing it to do that. Obviously, I got the Tractus tires on there, the flat free tires on all my lasers, so I don't have to worry about air pressure. That's a big deal, by the way. Obviously, y'all need to get those if you don't have them already. Yeah, a couple things. Let's see here, and I'm gonna throw out a point here in a minute. But yeah, I think it honestly, I only put maybe 2 hours on it, so I haven't used it a whole lot. I mentioned the fact that me being taller makes it feel kind of awkward, to be honest with you. And maybe it's just more or less my experience, having not ever used one before, but I don't think I'm going to really like it. I mean, I was thinking about it earlier. My thinking is, even if I used it for several months in a row, I still think I'm going to prefer to use a sit down, just to be honest with you. I can definitely get done a whole lot quicker, just operating it. And I don't feel like that's going to change with experience using the stand-on. Now, one question I want to make, I don't think it's going to make any difference regardless of the brand. I mean, they're all pretty much the same, right? I know Dog loves the Bad Boy, Eddie loves Gravely, I believe, and all the different brands, but I'm assuming there's not going to be a whole lot of difference there. I feel like if it feels kind of awkward for me with the Vertex, I feel like all the other brands are going to be the same way. So I just don't think it's going to be something that I'm going to want to spend the money on, even though it is cheaper. I think it's around $13,000, between 13 and 14, I believe, new, and I get the discount, the 15% off discount. So do I want to spend, even though it's cheaper, do I want to spend that kind of money on a mower that personally I don't think I would like better than what I have? Honestly, I think I'd rather go ahead and get another walker, to be honest with you. Just my opinion, and I know my Laser Z is a whole lot more effective, a whole lot more efficient, productive than this would be. So that's just my opinion. That's my thoughts on it, having used it today. Maybe that would change after I got more experience on it. I don't know, but I don't think it would, guys. I just honestly prefer to use the Laser, I believe. And one thing, this is something that people like to talk about when it comes to the stand-on. Well, they say, well, you can get off the stand-on to pick up trash. Let me tell you how you saw that. This. So yeah, I would much rather pick up trash with this on my Laser Z than have to stop, get off the mower, and pick it up by hand. I don't have to really stop. I can just pick it up as I mow when I'm on the Laser. So that's something you got to consider. I know a lot of guys talk about that being a positive. To me, it's a negative. As long as you have this. Now, if you're having to get off the sit down to get the trash, and obviously that would be a hassle, and the stand-on would be more advantageous. But if you carry one of these around, you can pick up sticks and pine cones and trash and all that kind of stuff without having to get off, stop what you're doing, and then get back on and continue. I can just basically keep mowing and pick it up at the same time without having to slow down, if that makes sense. So yeah, you're much better off carrying a trash picker upper on a sit down than you are, individually picking up pieces of trash, getting off the stand on itself each time, right? So that's something you got to think about. And I know a lot of you guys talk about that as being an advantage that you use a stand on. It's not. Definitely more advantageous to be sitting down with a trash picker upper, picking up trash as you go and not having to start and stop all the time. So that's just something I throw out there, guys. Yeah. If it's me, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I think you're better off to sit down. I think the guys at Southern, said the same thing. They would prefer just to have the Laser Z. So that's honestly my thinking as well. Can't go wrong with this Laser Z. This is my newest model. It's about 1.5 years old now. Got about 275 hours to change the oil out the other day. I love that mower. Now this is a solid mower, don't get me wrong. And I do feel like if you're a little bit shorter, it probably is going to feel a little more comfortable too. I mentioned that before, but in the clip before. But either way, yeah, solid mower. Would I buy one? I don't think I'm going to buy one. That's for sure. I just don't think it's worth it. Even though it is cheaper than a Laser or a Walker, I think there are some lower level walkers that are in that same price range that I'd be interested in buying. But yeah, I'd much rather go ahead and buy another Laser or a Walker before I would this stand on. Y'all let me know what you think, guys. This is my thoughts, my opinion. I'm sure some of you disagree, some of you will agree. I'm not really sure, but I know I'm way more productive regardless of how much experience I would have on that stand on the sit down Laser Z for sure. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And it's not gonna, as far as heels, I don't think it's gonna be any better. If anything, I think the Laser is better on the heels. And maybe that's just because I don't have a lot of experience using it. But yeah, that's just my opinion, guys. Hopefully it's helpful to you. God bless each and every one of you. Hope you had a great week. Talk soon.